Welcome to the Ask Sensei Tony podcast, where Sensei will address your questions about life from a cosmic perspective. Please subscribe and ask a question at AskSenseiTony.com to find out more about studying with Sensei privately, becoming a part of our spiritual community, and training to become a mindful minister of oneness in our seminary. We hope you enjoy this episode and find it helpful.
Hi, this is Sensei Tony. I've recently been asked to offer some words of comfort and compassion during this particular time of anxiety and stress. And that, of course, being caused by the crisis that has been affecting folks in terms of the contagion of the coronavirus. And I want to offer you the three practices of oneness, which are based on the three principles of oneness. The first practice is the practice of clarity. And in practicing clarity, we want to begin by recognizing that our thoughts are what create our experiences in a situation. That it's not so much the situation we're in, but the thoughts or beliefs that we have about the situation that create the feelings and potentially the actions that follow. And so an antidote to this is to practice the way of clarity, and that begins by the practice of not knowing. And the practice of not knowing is where I want to go into a situation and I have lots of assumptions and I might have lots of ideas, but I want to go in and I want to intentionally set those aside so that I can bear witness to what is in front of me. And part of that bearing witness and part of that practice is to learn to only deal with the things that we know. In other words, there are a lot of things that we don't know. And there's the mistaken belief that we should try to understand and know things in order to have some sense of release from anxiety around them. The problem is that's not always possible. And so what I'm suggesting is a practice that engenders both a desire to know and understand and to learn, but at the same time recognizing that we won't always see the whole picture. And so that humility allows us to bear witness to what we know. So in essence, we want to focus on the things we know, even when they're unpleasant, and not so much on the things we don't know. And I always say that reality is your best friend, even when it's not very nice, because at least you know what to do. And in this current milieu that we're in, there's a tendency for people to become hysterical. And if we work with what we know, and we understand that in the context of things, then we can become more rational and more empathetic. So that's the first practice. The first practice is that of clarity. And so that when you see your mind wandering off and wanting to be absorbed by every news story that you see, and you just get bombarded by those things. One of the things you want to do is you want to learn to stop listening and watching so much from the news, from the media. And, if you need information, it's not hard to get it by going to the CDC site or going to a government site, your state or local government. You can pretty much find out everything you know, but you don't have to let yourself become obsessed by all this information, which is not easily processed and often not very helpful, and sometimes just not true. The second practice is the practice of calm. And one of the most powerful ways to practice calm is the practice of meditation. Now I'm going to give you a basic guided meditation. I don't generally do guided meditations because I like people to kind of learn to do their own process and to learn to trust that. But I'm going to give you a little gentle guidance into a practice that we call in the Dragonfly Sangha, our community, our spiritual community, we call the practice of abiding. Now, most people are familiar with meditation in terms of the things it can do for us in terms of like lowering our blood pressure or other health purposes. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course. But what I'm going to focus on is the spiritual meaning of meditation. And the spiritual meaning of meditation is that within us, within our own mind and heart, is a center, a spiritual center, which is the source of all of our creativity, all of our compassion, and all of our connection. And I'm going to lead you in a brief meditation that will allow you, anytime you want, to allow yourself to just be drawn into the embrace of your true self, into the pure acceptance and love of the ground of your being, to touch at any time the field of universal consciousness. So in order to do that, I just want you to get comfortable. And you don't have to necessarily sit a certain way, or you could be listening to this while you're driving, and that's fine. And all I want you to do is just take a deep breath. One more. And just let it all out. Now I just want you to pay attention to your breathing. And let your breath be natural and soft. And allow yourself to gently and naturally be drawn inward. Let yourself be drawn naturally inward to that calm, clear, connected space within you. And even though your thoughts may be racing, things may be swirling around you, let that calm center be the eye of the storm. And there's nothing special you have to do to access it. It's always there. There's nothing that you can do to separate yourself from this experience of oneness. As you breathe out, I want you to imagine letting go of all the worry, all the stresses, all the fears, and know that you can touch that pace, that place that is transcendent to all those changes. You can reach a pace and a place that is calm, clear. And allow your thoughts to drift through the open spaciousness of your mind, like clouds drifting through a clear blue sky. Let things settle, like water that has been stirred and slowly becomes clear. the stillness. And know that deep inner spiritual part of you is the source of all of your peace. The source of all your love. The source of all your creativity. The source of all communion. When you find yourself being drawn to that space, even as your eyes are open and you're aware of everything, or your eyes are closed, this is your true nature, your true self. Be still and know. Allow yourself to let go. Allow yourself to trust. Allow yourself to transcend this world and all its troubles. As you find yourself breathing in and out in a natural, spacious boundlessness, know that this is always within you. You can access it anytime, anywhere. It's only a breath away. Just by taking a deep breath, just by watching your breath, you're in the embrace of the true self, where there is no judgment and there is no fear. There is only love and peace. And as you bring yourself back to your everyday awareness, you now know that that center is within you. You can imagine that center at the center of your body, about 2 inches below your navel. In Japanese, it's called the hara. Kikai tendon, the center of your being, the center of your body and your balance. Wherever you go, you carry this with you, like the shell of a turtle. It is your true home which allows you to be at home wherever you go, no matter what life brings. And this luminosity of mind and heart, which was never born and cannot die, let that manifest in your daily life. Let that incarnate in you in your own very unique way, because there is never been and never will be the signature of your smile. practice that I want to offer you, which is a practice of compassion. So along with clarity and calm, we want to practice compassion. And we can do that in 3 ways. The first way is the practice of prayer. In Buddhism, we call prayer metta, M-E-T-T-A, and it means loving kindness or friendliness. And what you want to do is you want to offer up prayers for yourself, for your loved ones, for your friends, for your enemies, for the world. And it goes like this. May my loved ones be safe. May I be safe. May we be protected. May we be clear and calm. May we be compassionate. And may this be extended to our friends and family, to our communities, and let it expand out into the world. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all come to know that peace which is born of insight and surpasses all understanding. Allow yourself to express your deepest anxieties, fears, wishes. I understand prayer not to be so much vertical, but horizontal. The energy of our minds and hearts going along the lines, the invisible lines that interconnect all of us in oneness. Knowing that whatever and however that energy goes out, that it changes me, that it helps me to feel connected. Another form of prayer is the practice of mantra. Mantra is where you chant a word. And as you chant that word, you allow that intention to become part of that practice of the mantra. One of the mantras that we practice the most in Buddhism is called the Nembutsu. And it's about trusting. One time when I was a bit younger, I was swimming across Walden Pond. And I became very tired. And I was in the middle of that very large body of water, very deep. And my muscles seized up and I became unable to swim. And I felt myself going under the water and having the fear that I might die there. And then, from the center of my being, came the thought, just float, man, just float. And so I breathed out and I allowed myself to bob to the surface. And I lay back and I allowed the waters to carry me, allowing me to rest until I could recover. And that's what I mean by trusting and letting go. And this mantra, the Nembutsu, is the mantra of trusting and letting go. Allowing yourself to be part of a larger boundlessness. Allowing the fears and worries, the warp and woof of everyday life to be wrapped in the embrace of love and kindness. I will chant the mantra, and you can follow along. And you can chant the mantra as long as you like. Allow it to carry you into stillness. Allow it to carry you into abiding. Namu Amina Butsu. Namu Amina Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Allow yourself to be carried into that spaciousness. Allow everything to fall away. Everything but the clear, warm center of your being. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Allow that sound to heal you. Allow that sound bring you peace. Namu Amida Butsu. Breathe deeply, deeply from the belly, deeply from the heart. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida. Let this time be a time of intentional retreat. Make time for devotional periods Let this time of retreat be a deep spiritual practice. Be present with those you live with. Really be there. Enjoy things. Enjoy things that won't make them worse and it might make them better. Love each other. Live in this moment. Live in this moment. Do not live in the past, just filled with regret. Do not live in the future, just filled with fear. Live in this moment. Love each other. Play together. Laugh together. Take walks in nature. Allow the oneness of nature to heal you, to give you strength. And be mindful of those who have already been alone. In this time they may feel even more separate. Reach out to them. Reach out to them through the magic of being able to be present, even remotely. It is our choice what we do with the things that befall us. Life can be filled with suffering, but we can choose. We can choose to live nobly. And as always, let us offer our practice for the welfare of all beings throughout space and time. Be well. Blessings.
You've been listening to Ask Sensei Tony. Please visit our website at AskSenseiTony.com, check out Sensei's books and videos, and become a part of the Dragonfly spiritual lifestyle.